Hello?
Haider?
Huh?
When I first saw this scene of Haider in the winter of 2014, it was an immediate turn off for me, and I did not even finish the entire film. Contrary to other Vishal Bhardwaj films such as Omkara, which I might have seen more than 20 times.
तू तो बेवकूफ हैगा.
At that time, I was completely convinced that the much publicized Haider's speech scene, for which the actor Shahid Kapoor actually went bald, was a blunt rip-off from Martin Scorsese's famous film Taxi Driver.
Hello? Mic testing 1, 2, 3. Hello? Hello, 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 hello.
Taxi Driver is one of my all-time favorite film. This film is perhaps the reason I love the world cinema. The central theme of Taxi Driver is loneliness and isolation in this happening and chaotic world. And that isolation and loneliness can drive anyone crazy. The story of Taxi Driver is seen and told from Travis Bickle's first person's point of view. As the movie progresses, we start to empathize with Travis and he becomes our hero, just as he became his own hero in his own degenerated mind. We as viewers feel sorry for his loneliness, we feel ashamed for his rejections, and we justify all his actions to compensate the failures. Now there is a Travis Bickle hidden inside within each and every one of us, just waiting to be exposed and exploded. But what is not letting us to become one? This question will lead us to the philosophy of existentialism. According to this philosophy, we all are thrown into this society bound together with these so-called societal laws, and we are supposed to abide by and conform to these laws. Any non-conformance would lead to punishment and rejections. For example, while Travis was habituated to visit porno theaters and while he was able to convince Betsy to take her to a movie, he ends up taking her to a porno theater. Now, Travis did not have any bad intentions or did not try to do any advances on Betsy, but Betsy did not feel comfortable, as going to a porno theater is not considered as a social conduct on a first date. Betsy took Travis as a sick person and rejected him outright. Now, this is the existential crisis of Travis, that to be able fully socially accepted and to be so-called normal, he has to abide by the conducts which he would not prefer in the first place. This is a direct blow to his own existential choice. Vietnam War veterans being misfit in America's 70s society is a well used and well researched topic in Hollywood movies. And the same is reflected in a more realistic way in Taxi Driver. The extreme violence, inhumanity, and unlawfulness of war can do things to a man's thinking and behavior, and he may not be able to identify his existence in the society bound by conventional laws anymore. This existential crisis led Travis to further insanity and instability, and then we see this.
You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me?
This famous scene is literally saying that the image of me projected by the society is actually not me. However, there is no escape. Travis created his own missions to satisfy his desire to break loose and planned to kill Palantine, who was the father figure to Betsy. He shaved his head like a Native American Mohawk going to war and confronted Palantine with a 14 revolver. Now wait a second. This video is about Haider, right? Yes. Coming back to our own Vishal Bhardwaj's Hamlet adaptation Haider, and coming back to the Haider speech scene where he enacted some kind of a road show on a busy crossing of modern day Srinagar. He transformed himself from a returning university student to some kind of a insane personality. By this time into the film, we have already seen his journey and search for the truth of his father's disappearance. And we started realizing the same social isolation and existential crisis in Haider. The society, including his mother, wants him to forget about his father and not to try to dig into the details of his disappearance. But Haider could not just let it go and kept on searching, and finally he was convinced and concluded that his father was killed by his own brother and Haider's own uncle. Hamlet in the original play and Haider in the film took the disguise to behave like an insane person, but they were already broken into existential conflicts. Now the conflict in Hamlet or Haider and conflict in Travis were perceived differently, but they were essentially the same existential one, and they led to similar effect on both. Travis was convinced to kill Palantine, and when he failed to do so, he went towards his other mission to free Irish and killed Sport and all other he found in Irish's room. On the other hand, Haider was convinced to kill Khurram and ultimately resulted in a bloodbath, though there were slight diversion from the original Hamlet. So when we look from this perspective, the Haider's speech scene does not look like a rip-off of Taxi Driver. It is indeed the perfect tribute. I again watched Haider in 2020 and it is now one of my favorite Vishal Bhardwaj movie. Okay friends, I hope this video gave you some insights about Haider and Taxi Driver. If you have not seen these movies, please watch those and read the original Hamlet by William Shakespeare. It is still a very contemporary text that I can guarantee you. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more film analysis videos. Thank you.